go towards that Thresh this time round. Good disengage, good ways of kind of stopping the Xenoblade kind of overall push on top of the, you know, AD carry or any of those other carries, so he should be able to keep everybody safe. And is the Sion locked in here for Vici? So tank versus tank in the top side. Shouldn't really see anything crazy happening up there until the team fights happen much later in the game.
A little bit disappointed we don't get to see Bin pop off on things like the Fiora, things like the Jax. He's still playing those champions a ton in solo queue. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see him try to exploit this player like Cube, who's much more about the team role. So Suning is going to go for a pretty standard composition where it's front to back. I'll for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we see now on the other side, FoFo back on that Zoe blind pick that went very, very well for them in the first game, coming back in for him. And he's had, honestly, FoFo's had a fantastic series so far, and we really haven't had a chance to talk about him just because of the pure amount of action and almost, you know, kind of weird faux pas coming out from Suning. But FoFo really has kind of been a shining light on Vici. Definitely an improvement on what I would say was a disappointing season from Fours last year.
FoFo was in our ranking for the top 5 best mid laners in the entirety of the LPL. He had great individual performances, but we knew that his relationship with the rest of his team was pretty strained. So we saw BLG and Vici swapping mid laners. Zika going over to BLG, and BLG sending over FoFo to Vici, and just giving them a change of chemistry. Both of these are young mid laners with a lot of potential, and I think it's a good change of pace for FoFo, where he can really be the leading voice on this team. He's got the seniority, and whereas on BLG, a lot of times we saw him butting heads quite heavily with Meteor on what they were supposed to do on the map. So this is going to be a very FoFo-centric team. We also heard iBoy in the interviews telling about having FoFo as that stable rock on the team was much better. When he's throwing the game away, he knows that FoFo isn't going to do the same, so it works out fine. And we saw that in the previous game. Like,
yeah,
iBoy really trusts FoFo.
That is very true. Yeah, that was a trust exercise. It was iBoy going, catch me, and FoFo going, God damn it. Okay, I will, but I don't want to, and I really wish you didn't. And he's like, it's okay, you got this, I believe in you. But ladies and gentlemen, we're onto the rift for the third and potentially final time tonight of this best of 5 between Suning and Vici Gaming. We are going to see both junglers starting on their red side of their jungles. We can see again Hong and iBoy starting off very, very aggressively towards this bot side. But it is Suning who this time come out with a little bit of a favorable trade.
Yep, and we see still the same item choices even when the matchup is reversed. So this is what we've been seeing throughout a lot of these games, is that if you're going to be up against the Misfortune lane and super good harass, you probably do want to consider the boots first. Gets away from ganks better. Now On took a lot of HP onto that trade. Doesn't really have his level 2 right there, so couldn't flay away the damage. And that's going to set Vici up for a pretty strong position, especially with Aix almost close to the scuttle and potentially going down there for a gank.
Yeah, straight away you can see the Thresh already on your minimap starting to back away, so On needs to respect that potential is there. You get hit by one undertow and is almost certainly over for you. Even if you do flash, it's still not a great position to be in, so you're just going to back away. Going to use the Jhin to back away as well. Just pop down a ward to make sure they're not getting flanked upon as well. But overall, pretty decent trade for the side of Vici, but expected given the matchup.
Yep. What I think we're going to see is Vici try to exploit the Thresh in lane. Thresh is a great pick champion, but in lane he's actually very weak post 6. You just all in him and he instantly evaporates, especially when you have the Olaf coming in who ignores all of his crowd control as well. So Vici's game plan does look like they're going to play very aggressively into the bot lane, try to trade away summoners, and use that as the opening into potential Drake fights.
As much as it looks cool on the top side with these absolute behemoths going at each other, very unlikely that either Cube or Bin does get taken down by their counterparts. So we'll see them kind of trading HP bars a lot of the time, but nothing really kind of perfectly happening from there. There is a exhaust in the back pocket for FoFo. Is going to pop it down to stop SofM from getting any further. And that is going to force Aix to show his position as well. So SofM trying to just be a nuisance into his mid lane, give as much pressure as he possibly can to make sure that this Zoe isn't given the freedom that she loves to have giving into this early game.
And does want to give Angel a great back here. Angel's running cleanse, not going to go for the teleport this game. So he does need to find his timings. That was pretty much a push for SofM, but it's instantly answered by Aix here. So Angel can't really back out of this one at this point. We're seeing another gank incoming for Hang. Is this going to work out?
Here we go. Going to jump straight in. There's the cleanse burned. So they do get a summoner out of it. Paddlestar just going to be held back, but not refreshed in. So again, advantages in the mid lane for FoFo, who has had, as I said, a fantastic series so far. And I feel like Vici understand that, and they're giving him a hell of a lot of resources.
This is exactly what we said in our power ranking show. We expected most of the Vici team members to kind of fold into this mid lane and to get FoFo a big a lead as possible. You could see right there, that was such a good concerted effort coming in from Aix and also for Hang to stop that good buy from Angel. Like, Angel was in a position where he has SofM come in, reset the wave for him, but he still hasn't made it back to base. He's still being kept there underneath the mid lane without any mana, with the wave constantly being pushed in. So a very good play right there that is going to give a lot of tempo over to FoFo.
Yeah, and you can see Angel just refusing to use those biscuits as well, even to get back some of the, the mana that he has lost, because he knows that it's just worth so much more in those later stages of the game, especially when he hits level 6. But in the bot side, iBoy and Hang just playing the wave game right now, knowing that it's stacking in their against them, or rather in their favor, pushing into the side of suiting, but they know they have got that initial wave management in their favor, and again, nothing really too untoward with this bot lane. We knew it was going to be difficult for the side of suiting. It has been difficult for the side of suiting pretty much the entire game, as iBoy and Hang have just played a really nice aggressive style.
I think Jinjiao knows what's up. He definitely senses that the bot lane is going to be the lane that Vici will try for. He's basically running the please don't kill me, bro, build all the way through. He's got the boots 3, he's got cleanse, he's got fleet footwork. It's just like, you know what? You can take my support, you can kill Thresh as many times as you like, but please, bro, let me farm. Just let me farm.
Just let me farm. We've got Swifties in there, the fleet footwork. He's obviously got both summoners available to him as well. Jinjiao maybe trying to go for a little bit of an aggressive trade there. As you can see, iBoy very much aware that he has to be careful going up against this Thresh. One good hook, one bad engage from Vici in this game could be, or at least this bot lane could very much be flipped on its head. So both teams playing relatively respectfully. As we can see, that was a bit early there from SofM. Not quite there with the collateral damage. But the bot lane has gone into it. Hook has landed. There is no Zenith Blade for Hang to really kind of double down on top of this. Pretty decent trade overall for both sides.
And we are seeing the Emax come out for Misfortunes. A lot of times, even with this build, we did see the Q still be maxed, but this is like a maximum lane harass build. So if I'm going to take away that red with the smite advantage. So another good find on his part.
And that's SofM just kind of trying to be as annoying as possible. But as I say that, though, Bin realizes that Cube is coming up and around. They will be able to trade that Krugs. And SofM, who looked like he was trying to retreat, now feels like he might be able to go for it. There's the flash burn there from Ornn, as he has to back himself away from the bullet time. They were not level 6. They were not able to go for it just yet. And he's just going to delay it as much as possible. He's going to try and just keep him at arm's distance. Doesn't have the collateral damage, though. Use it to try and steal the chickens. Still going for this. Still going for this.
This is so annoying. I love this play because what he's doing is that he's keeping tabs on when Aix can potentially make it to the bot lane. We just saw a very important thing happen in the bot lane. It's Vici opening up Thresh to being ganked repeatedly. They've got both of his summoners down. But if they can keep tabs onto Olaf, they can still keep the bot lane alive.
Overall, SofM, like you said, just trying to delay Aix as much as possible. Realized he wasn't able to get the kill, but definitely being able to play the most annoying Graves that we've probably ever seen. Hang is now up towards this top side, dropping down a pink ward, but that is too little too late. This Rift Herald is very much secured. And suiting, kind of creeping towards a 1,000 gold lead. They've got themselves some small little advantages. They're kind of, playing the pressure game up in that top side, and SofM feels a lot more comfortable now that he's on this Graves. Shockwaves goes in. Angel doesn't have a huge amount of mana, and there are 4 people here, so it just feels like they're not really going to be able to get much out of this on the side of suiting.
And that was a play where Angel was basically fishing because he had his bot lane rotating. Very well played by Vici as well. They went straight down the mid lane also. So not really amounting to much here on the Shockwave usage. And we're going to see Vici have a bit of a tempo lead coming in from the mid and bot as they clear out the vision on Suning's side of the jungle.
See what they want to do. Okay, Ragnarok burnt there by Olaf. I feel like Aix was a little bit trigger happy with that one. There wasn't really anyone in position from Suning to kind of go for it.
Yeah, he was definitely worried about SofM just popping over, and SofM is just giving him PTSD, you know? You never contest Vietnamese junglers while in the brush, and that's happened multiple times in the top lane. Aix was probably a little bit afraid for his life, instantly pops that. Now we go into the top lane 1v1.
Oh, that was a flash on spot. That was a flash on spot. Oh, Cube. Oh, that was unfortunate. He flashed literally on the spot, did not move anywhere, and that is a solo kill over to the Ornn, who was already 20 CS ahead, and now he's got a solo kill and just the absolute ownership of this top lane.
I'm pretty sure that was the most value I've ever seen a volcanic rupture get.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
He actually just got stuck on that. That's kind of insane to think about it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh dear.
Oh jeez, they even had to run the highlight too. Wow, that's good directing, I have to say.
That's a tilter a little bit, but overall, you can't be sitting on your laurels here if you're on the side of Vici. You have lost that top lane now effectively in the laning phase. You now have to find advantages elsewhere. You still have FoFo, you still have Misfortune as well, and Leona down the bot side. There's still plenty for you here as we see a little picture-in-picture replay, which actually forced... Yeah, I think it just actually forced out a lot of the summoners coming out from Jinjiao, so just a very unfortunate timing there from the hook that just led to a very... unfavorable end for the Suning bot lane.
So we do see Suning winning out pretty strong on the top side. In the meantime, Vici is continuously getting summers over and over again. And I think if Vici want to equalize their losses, it really is about time that Aix needs to pay this bot lane a visit. They're sitting on such a massive summoner lead that it would be a waste if Jinjiao and Ornn don't die at least twice. I think it's inexcusable if they're allowed to just farm under their tower. So Vici should really try and make use of these windows.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you can see there the vision that just went down from the side of Vici being completely surrendered now as they look towards this dragon. This will be an equalization of 1-to-1. Yeah, like there's just
no way
despite
they
the pressure. But they have got Ornn bombing down. So Bin is here. There is a flash available. They go in, but SofM has to jump straight back out. They will secure the dragon onto Vici. The shockwave comes in, but it's not quite enough. Actually, it wasn't even the shockwave. It was the cleanse, excuse me. Now here's Bin onto the bottom. It's a 4v5 as one person's already dead. It was Ornn who died off on this one. SofM flashed on top of an undertow to death. The shockwave only just lands onto the Olaf. They will take him down, but it's a two-person team on Suning. One left. It's going to be the ace for one, and this is Vici just exploding back onto the rift.
I think Suning decision-making strikes again. There really was no reason they should have been allowed to even get into the river at that point. They get goaded by a false sense of security, and they just rush in when they're at a massive summoner disadvantage in the bot lane. You can see iBoy and Hang are already on the scene far before the bot lane from Suning can actually make an impact. They just go in and find the early kills, and even though they rotated Bin early, he's not really lined up to have that impact with the rest of his teammates, and they just all fall in one by one. Very well played on Vici's part. They find great uses of FoFo just chasing everyone down. He's having a field day because there's a ton of summoners there on the ground for him to proc the spell thieves and just keep going forward. And once again, we're going to see FoFo get extremely fed off of a dragon fight.
And I wanted to again call out the kind of, you said the decision making, but also the target selection as well. FoFo and iBoy were completely untouched in that fight. They both on the left side and the right side just up their respective ramps. And they just weren't, no one was going near them. They were wasting so much onto Hang and to Aix that it felt as if they just kind of were over-committing to these players that aren't really putting out the DPS. And that just led to their downfall for Suning. It's not the end of the world. Yes, you lose a dragon and a couple of kills. You're kind of letting Vici back into the game. But it just feels, again, like their decision-making is just kind of not really helping them out here.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have started that, Drake. They had no business starting that. So Graves was out the fight right at the start, and now Jinjiao's paying the price.
That's
Again?
unfortunate. Shockwave comes down, but it's not enough. Angel picks up that one. And this is starting to look a lot like last game. It is definitely starting to hurt them a little bit. Flash is burned. Hook goes out, but it misses. And again, you're not going to be able to... This is a hard force coming out from Suni, but you can't follow that, my dudes. And now you can see the rest of the side of Vici are here. And you're 3v4. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide. And there's all going to fall one by one. They fall to the power of Vici. FoFo flashes, because why not, I guess, and that is just going to be an easy chase down onto Bin, straight away onto the Rift Herald. This is everything for Vici. Suning get nothing, and once again, it's the decision-making coming in from Suning that's just absolutely incorrect at the wrong times.
That was a full team ace on Suning's part. They lost all 5 members. They're going to lose a Herald, and they've already lost the bot lane in the process. So this game went from basically only a 2K deficit to now what we're looking at is going to creep very close to a 6K deficit in the span of 90 seconds. So some really weird things coming on here. I'm not really sure what Suning were planning on this one. This is the initial kill that we saw on Angel. Well executed. Aix pops his Ragnarok. There's nothing you can do about that. But the comeback coming in from Suning was a bit perplexing. They spent a lot of summoners trying to get in onto that. The flash expended right there coming in from On. SofM chasing very close to tower. And then a ultimate by Bin that doesn't hit anyone. So they just set themselves up like bowling pins to be knocked down by FoFo one by one. Very easy kills right here. They get all 5 members on the map.
Yeah, it's... I don't want to be too negative, and... You know, it's just not looking great for the side of Suning. You went from one bad play at the Dragon. Okay, that's fine. You made a bad call. It happens. You were kind of feeling like you had the advantages. If you know, it can happen sometimes. But then to just overforce that so damn hard, they still have advantages to come into this if they need it as well. Like, you can see Bin is just winning the 1v1 matchup against Cube. He's doing so well in this matchup, and they have got opportunities to come back into this. They just need to calm down. Stuff will help and just give yourself a moment to breathe and think.
If I'm Sword Art's agent right now, I'm saying I'm coming back for 7. But wait a minute, we have the TP.
TP coming in. There's the Ornn horn. They're trying to get an advantage, but look at that zoning away, and he's got no health bar. Bin deleted. They couldn't follow up on it, and now iBoy is just one of the target, but there's just no damage. That was it. That was the moment. But here is a perfect movement from Cube. He ults straight in, forcing all the summoners away. Vici just straight up ready for any kind of movement from the side of Suning. Nothing that Suning can do to catch them off guard. There's the Trouble Bubble landing on top of the Jhin. He will fall straight away. 2 kills to FoFo. He's trying to fish for another one. Don't think he will be getting it, but it is 17.5 minutes into this game. It is a 7,000 gold lead. 3 dragons up. This isn't looking great.
I think the only defense is, like, a lot of teams don't really take Demacia Cup as, you know, the be-all, end-all tournament. There really is no implication for the LPL season if you win or lose Demacia Cup. But let's go over this fight again. Bin tries to go in alone. Very good cutoff from iBoy. He actually tags multiple members with the E and the ultimate, cutting off the back line. And then the icing on top of the cake, we do see Cube charging in here. I believe he does stop Jinjiao's ult, flashes in and gets the kill on the Thresh too. Wow, this man, even though he's a role player and a lot of times it's very easy to predict what he's going to play in draft, he plays them so damn well.
Well, we actually might see Suning going for a little bit of an opportunity kill here as they jump straight in, but it's SofM who's being chased down and taken down. Angel looking for something on the backside, but it is a 0-4-0 SofM. Like we said, SofM give it, SofM take it away. He can be the best jungler in LPL on the same day that he's the worst. It's just not clicking right now for the side of Suning, and Jhin is dead, I guess, as well, because FoFo has 7-0-6, and he's just miles ahead of the curve.
Yeah, with the Horizon focus as well, he's going to be doing 10% extra damage to all of the targets that he hits, that he manages to land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble on. So there's really no stopping FoFo at this point. Yeah, it's so difficult to play this game out right now. And Hopefully this doesn't have any implications on Suning as they come into LPL. You know, this is fairly new roster, and Wanfeng isn't here. Oh my god, that was actually disgusting.
It was one shot, literally one shot by the paddle star there. And the worst thing is, FoFo didn't even have to use his own flash. He had one in the back pocket on the W. That's so not cool, man. Like, that's such a not fun situation.
I think one auto bubble and just paddle star, and that was gone.
The bubble didn't even land. It was an auto and a Q.
Jeez.
The bubble didn't even land. That's how much damage that was, and that is disgusting as such. But again, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due here for the side of Vici, and Vici just really just honing in on why this, you know, Zoe pick was so powerful for them, why it's so prioritized for them. It was picked in the blind pick for them, and they were able to win that one. It was banned against them in the second game, and we can see why this is just working out for them so well. Cube does use his unstoppable onslaught to try and get himself into the move here of a 2v4, but now it's a 3v2. Shockwave lands on the 2, but Jhin is dead, and the health bars are so low. FoFo's got the pick of a litter. He's got so many more summoners, so many more abilities that he can use. iBoy and Hwang are here to save the day. Sion goes down, but he's got zombie form to tank up that tower. Angel, you tried your best, buddy, but there's no escape from the most terrifying champion on the Rift, that is Zoe. And that is going to be in tier 2 at Ace, and everything's broken open now.
This is super interesting to see Vici coming into this new season and playing with such fire. Once again, let's watch the iBoy solo right here. He does dodge out on the Q2 damage. Yeah, very well done there. And on the bottom side, Suning is trying to fish for a pick, but with the sniper on the side, FoFo going in for Jinjiao, pretty much another one-shot there. There's really nothing that Suning can get done at this point in the game. They're just way too far behind. And I think this answers a lot of questions about Suning that we were having. We were looking at this roster and saying, you know, it seems like this is a very single-point focused roster where they're all going to be playing around FoFo. iBoy has been pretty inconsistent last split. Oh, well, let's be honest, he's always been a bit of a coin flip player. So we were thinking to ourselves that, hey, this Vici roster seems a little bit it seems a little bit short when it comes to talent and the amount of carry potential they can play around. However, what we've been seeing in the Demacia Cup is, hey, even though Q might just be on tanks, and even though Aix might not be your carry jungler, quote-unquote, if they can get FoFo going, that's actually all they need. They don't need to have every position that can really go off at any time. They might be single point focused, but they're very, very good at that one point, and FoFo can make this roster work.
FoFo definitely putting his name in the hat for most improved player coming into from 2020 to 2021. Definitely looking very, very strong as Vici try to find that elusive playoff spot in spring. But of course, that spring, they still have Demacia Cup to worry about beforehand. And yes, we do see it as a non-consequential or inconsequential tournament, but this is kind of showing us who is hitting the ground running earlier on in the season versus people who have a lot to kind of work on. And I think the one thing we can all agree on for Suning is they have a lot to think about if this does go to a 3-0. They are still very much in this game, but Infernal Soul has just gone down. SofM 0-5-0. They got the Jinjiao on 0-5-3. They literally, they only have kills on their top laner and their mid laner. And even then, you're looking at the side of Cube and FoFo, and they're not really losing their lanes. So it's kind of, you need massive mistakes coming out now from the side of Vici for Suning to realistically come back into this game.
I just think we're going to see FoFo with this Infernal Soul just keep on poking people out. He's pretty much a one-man army at this point. I want to see another couple of those one-shots. They're so satisfying to watch. And he does get
not
the
as an
tag
AD carry, they're not. Not as an AD carry main, they're not, dude.
You don't like season 10 or season 11?
I never said that, but we'll see what happens as well as the final fight comes in at the Baron. There is a fair bit of damage being put down from the side of Suning on top of Vici as the Baron is yet to be taken. Graves has fallen. Leona is dead as well. 1 for 1. Baron has fallen now. FoFo, plenty of health, plenty of mana, and Suning are running away to their mamas. They do not want to have anything to do with this very, very peppy and bully of a girl. Bin just going to get out with the Dark Passage as well, so they will trade 1 for 1, but the Baron did go in favor of Vici, and now they're pushing for inhibitors.
Yeah, FoFo does feel like one of those Japanese horror films where you see a little girl crawling out of the television set. He's actually a lot more frightening than that even.
There we go. They're just going to be able to do it. They don't even need FoFo. He's just shepherding them in. He's the wolf bringing the sheep to slaughter.
Is he going to fall?
And they're just trying to go for it. iBoy just trying to keep himself alive. He will fall. They do lose the shockwave on Angel as he tried to keep himself alive. But the Baron buff is there. The inhibitor turret in the bot lane has fallen. And you can see these health bars just aren't really going down from the side of Vici. Suiting, trying everything, throwing everything, including the kitchen sink and all these players. The flash is just not going to hit SofM. FoFo going to back himself up a little bit, but with a TP available onto Cube. And oh no! That is a bro move if I've ever seen it there. As Aix says, nah, man, I'm not afraid of you. They push themselves up towards the top side. They're going to be able to pick up some more gold, some more turrets, some more everything. This game is just everything going in favor of Vici. That's all I can say.
Yep. Even gets the kill through the lantern. Very unfortunate game for SofM right here. And I just feel like there's not a whole lot to talk about. I don't think Suning actually showed that much during their Demacia Cup run right here. Honestly, all we know right now is that they do have some problems with decision making.
Very unsatisfied. If they did show us what they got, this is not good enough.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Suning readjust themselves coming into the split. They're going to have very, very high expectations just because of their World Finals run. But, you know, it's really hard to gauge how hard of a hit it is to not have your shot callers and to not have your coach. We also have to mention that Chasha has now moved on to JD Gaming. So basically the grown-ups are not in the room anymore for this roster.
Yeah, the kids are left to play, and sometimes, you know, it's kind of like the monkey typewriter theorem, which I'll get back to in a second, as the curtain call comes in. And is it going to be the curtain call on this game for the side of Suning? They've used a hell of a lot of ultimates. The Ornn is down, the Jhin ult is gone. It's kind of negate a lot of the damage that came out from the bullet time. Cube taking a huge chunk of damage onto himself. Aix as well, in a little bit of trouble, but he is just sustaining so much with that Gore Drinker. Now we see the Unstoppable Onslaught jumping straight in on top of all the rest of this team, and Suning are now pushed out of their base. Nobody has died just yet, but hey, as I say that, there goes the Graves. FoFo is now finally in the fight. Thresh going to be able to pick up that, or get picked off by that, as we see Cube and Aix just backing themselves away on absolutely no HP. Aix says, nah, I'm going to go back in on top of this and see if I can get any kind of sustain back into top of this. But Suning are dead in the water. They have no ultimates available to them. They have no health bars there. The Nexus is Nexus turrets, not even the Nexus is, have fallen. Nexus is sure to follow. FoFo will not lose his perfect KDA at 13, 0, and 10. And it's a 3-0 in favor of Vici.
Congratulations to Vici. They take down the best performing team at Worlds this year. Suning goes down without
try and figure out, because the series just didn't look good.
I think as a Suning fan, what you do here is you just shrug your shoulders and say, hey, it's Demacia Cup. You know, the team that's won Demacia Cup has never gone on to win the year. So just throwing that out, it's not actually representative of the LPL regular split. A lot of times teams are coming in and they're kind of testing out their rosters. I will say, unfortunately for Suning, there's a pretty high chance that